Yes, marvellous ambassador for a sport, there's no doubt about that. And we saw another one last night, and we'll be seeing her again shortly. You know, a woman who was competing on the world stage before Ali was even born. You know, 1989 was where Oksana Chusovitina started her career. Then she was at the 90 Goodwill Games, a gold medal there. The 91 World Championships, a gold medal there. The Barcelona Olympics, her first, and a gold medal there. And she's since competed in 7 Olympics. And we'll be seeing her on the beam shortly. And I caught up with her earlier today.
So, Oksana, congratulations. A great day for you yesterday. You enjoyed the vault?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm happy.
You were on the dais with a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old. I mean, they're younger than your son.
I feel good, but in podium, everybody 14, 15, same.
Well, you're not the same, and it's quite amazing. You started back in the 80s. You know, your first major events with the Goodwill Games, a gold medal at your first World Championships, a gold medal at your first Olympics, and you've been to 7 of them and hoping to make it 8.
I love gymnastics. I have fun, and I have one dreams. I want to make my dreams in reality.
And that dream still includes Tokyo.
Yes, Tokyo, and I want to take 1 medals for my country, Uzbekistan.
Well, you've done it before. You may do it again. You know the record for the most Olympic Games is an equestrian, a horse rider from Canada. He's been to 10. A little easier on a horse though, because the horse does all the work.
Well, I think after Tokyo, I going to other sport and make.
Yeah. Take up horse riding.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I imagine you could be good at anything you turn your hand to. Your husband, of course, was an Olympic wrestler. Is your son an athlete?
My son play basketball, but just little, by yourself. So, make school, high school now.
Okay. Well, good luck today. We'll see you on the beam. A bit of a lottery on the beam.
Yes, we'll look. I want going and make.
Good luck. Oh, the main thing is it's so small, don't fall off. Enjoy.
Thank you so much.
And our athletes are about to make their way onto the floor in the first 2 apparatus, which will be the women's balance beam and the vault for the men. Melbourne Arena is looking a picture. Really good crowd has made its way in the last few moments. And it's packed, and it'll get noisy, particularly when we see those high flyers on the high bar a little bit later on. But here are our finalists in the women's balance beam.
Representing Korea, representing Ukraine, Valeria Osipova. Representing Australia, Emma Nedov. Representing Uzbekistan, Oksana Chusovitina. Representing China, Zhao Xiting.
And we'll see a number of those competitors also in the floor final later today, including Xiting, who is the top qualifier. And ironically, they draw. It's not 8th to 1st. They draw for spots, but as it's turned out in the draw, Xiting will be last out. Same thing happened in the men's vault as well.
Representing Great Britain, Dominic Cunningham. Representing Korea, Shin Ji-won. Representing Kazakhstan, Milad Karimi. Representing France, Larissa Muscat. Representing Korea, Kim Han-sol. Representing Australia, Kristina Remke. And representing Ukraine, Igor Redimilov.
Yeah, as I was saying, Radulov, the top qualifier through in qualifying on Friday. And again, when it came to drawing the lots, he drew number 8. So he'll be hoping we'll be waiting for the best to last. But you think that the man that's going to come out second, Dominic Cunningham, can maybe snatch it?
Yeah, that's right. I spoke to him earlier today.
Yeah, sorry, I'll get back to that. We'll just quickly run through the women's balance beam again. Sheeting, as we mentioned, will be out 8th. Gauchi is there from Japan. The 2 Australians come next. Osipova, the Ukraine, the woman we just heard from, the Hall of Famer while still competing, the only time that's ever happened. Then I Am Doing from the Korean Republic, and that'll be rounded out then from Chinese Taipei by Lai Pin-ju. And there the qualifying scores next to the names, 12.9 down to 11.8, so just over the 1 point separating.
Yeah, so it was a close qualifications. There were a few falls we saw, so hopefully they can all stay on the apparatus and it can be a tight final.
And we'll be starting with a couple of athletes on the beam before we introduce the first of the athletes in the vault. First up from Japan, Gauchi.
Presenting to the judges, always a bit of pressure being the first competitor in the finals. Nice front tuck mount onto the beam. Judges really want to see lots of confidence on the balance beam. As you can see, she uses the full beam, requirement for the gymnast to go across the whole length of the beam into her acro series there. Nicely covering up that back handspring, back layout, step out with the little step. Nicely done with the full turn leg up. So far, a nice clean routine.
Only 10 centimetres wide, just 4 inches by 5 metres, but there's not a lot to land on, is it?
You're right, John, and they just make it look all so easy. The beautiful thing about this sport. Again, a nice leap into that front aerial. Split leap with the ring. Throwing that head back, a difficult skill to do because you lose sight of the beam. Coming up to her dismount now. Front layout full. Tiny hop on the landing, so a really nice solid routine to start off these finals.
Oh, isn't a coach happy? Look at that. That's the sort of look that you want from your coach when you come off the apparatus. Isn't it beautiful? Well done. Absolutely high-class start to the beam.
Absolutely, we see a few of her leap elements in this replay and just a really nice clean routine. Not a huge amount of difficulty, but everything was executed so well, so she should get a really nice score for this routine.
She's 27. She'll be followed by the youngest competitor on the beam. Chibi Zubov is just 15. The Australian will be coming up next.
Showing us again these replays of her leaps and really wanting to hit that 180 degrees in her split leaps. Nice front dismount, straight position. Beautiful routine.
Nina Chipazubov, the 15-year-old from Australia, through to a World Cup final, her first competition, first season as an open competitor. She turned 16 this year.
Waiting for the judges to give her that green flag, and she will be using this competition as a bit of experience on her way to trying to make Tokyo next year.
We'll keep you up to date with the scores as they do come to hand. How nerve-wracking would that be in front of 10,000 people? And you could barely hear a pin dropping here either. There's a little bit of music playing, but...
Yeah, all eyes on you during finals time. It's the beauty of finals. It's one competitor at a time on the floor. A lot different to our qualification rounds where there's a lot of apparatuses going on at the same time. So that added pressure of finals, and you know, what a great experience for Elena to be able to get up here and compete in the finals.
And Ronette, also with the number of people on apparatuses at the same time, the amount of distraction that you talk about competing in your bubble, but how hard that would be with all of that noise taking place as the Japanese competitor and a coach, Gauchi, standing by looking for those scores, which are still not through. We will give them to you as soon as they are.
Yeah, there definitely is that pressure. When there's a lot going on in the competition arena, you've got to stay in that bubble, and there's lots of training outside of the competition arena when you're back home at your gym to get you ready for finals like this.
Sense of anticipation. They were so happy with the routine.
Just adds to that extra element, the nerves of waiting for that score, like judges are deliberating about which skills they're going to pay.
But at least for Gauchi, there's nothing she can do now. She at least, I mean, she'll be anxious, but she can relax. But standing there next to the beam is a 15-year-old about to perform, you know, across 500 million homes across the world. It's a very big moment in a young career. And all of these Australian supporters as well. There's nothing like seeing yourself on TV.
I'm sure there's lots of aspiring gymnasts out there watching some of their idols here today.
Oh, there's no doubt. We roll this forward 10 years and there'll be someone competing in an event like this that'll say, I turned up, I watched so-and-so perform it in Melbourne in 2019. We've got the score.
We do. So Oguchi got a 13.066.
Okay, so that's where the bar has been set.
Elena prepares for her acro series here. Back handspring, back flip, layout. So judges really want to see that layout position. She performed that nicely, however, did pike down slightly on the landing. Tiny 0.1 wobble there. Split leap, the half turn. Nicely done. So far looking really solid on this routine. Front tuck, big wobble there. So she will get penalised for that. That is at least a 0.3 deduction for that wobble. Nice leap series, getting away her requirements of the routine. Got beautiful lines on this apparatus. So she's coming up to her dismount. Nice double twist and a small step there. Very, very good routine from Elena. Crowd's happy, and so should she. What a great routine to put up in finals.
That's right, she saved that wobble well throughout the centre of that routine.
Here we see the front aerial into the split leap, and connecting 3 different elements like that brings up her difficulty score as well. Just the wobble there. That was probably the biggest deduction throughout the routine. But she does have enough difficulty in here, so depending on the rest of the competitors here, it is a solid routine and could hopefully see her get a medal.
Wouldn't that be something for a 15-year-old? Yonakura, the first of our vault competitors.
Wow, wow, wow. That was a sick 3.5 twist right there. And then 3 steps on the landing.
Yeah, a little shuffle with the landing. That's going to cost him, obviously, but
with the difficulty so high, it really is a difficult vault to land. So being able to catch the landing, even with those 3 steps. 1, 2, 3.5. 1, 2, 3 little duck steps at the bottom there. He stayed inside the lines, which is a requirement. If you do step out of those lines, it will be deducted further. controlling it in the end.
Of course, it's the 2 vaults, the combined scores. And Radulov, the top qualifier, he'll be coming last. Cunningham, you think's a real chance here today, don't you?
That's right. He's got more difficulty up his sleeve than what he performed in qualifications. So I was speaking to him earlier, and he said he's looking to go for it tonight.
And Yonakura, who was just seen with the first attempt, that's his qualifying score on the way in. So there's Gauchi of Japan back in terms of what's happening with the beam. She's still on top. We haven't got the score for the young Australian yet, have we? We do now.
Just came through, so Elena got a 12.933, so just coming in behind the Japanese. Still a really solid score, so.
And the first score coming through, 14.525 for Yonakura on vault. And a 6.0 difficulty. That's the highest we've seen out of any male at this competition.
So second and final attempt.
A handspring layout with 2.5 twist. Once again, a very difficult vault there, and he should be happy with himself. See him launching himself off the board, driving those heels hard to generate rotation in that front salto, and then 2.5 twists forwards and landing it nicely. Difficult one to control. He really corkscrew into the ground, so a lot of pressure going through the ankles through that landing.
And it's the average of the 2 scores that provides the total. So we'll wait to see how they judge that. And we're back with the 17-year-old who won a bronze at the Asian Games a couple of years ago. Lao Pinju of Chinese Taipei.
So she did qualify in 8th coming into these finals. As we mentioned, for finals, it's a clean slate. So everyone starts at 0 again. It's all about the routine here tonight. Okay, let's ring back tuck. Just a small wobble there. Front aerial into the leap. To that stag leap again, throwing that head back, making it a very difficult skill. Aerial cartwheel, nicely done. Side somersault. Bit of straddle with the half turn. Full turn leg up there, so just a few minor deductions throughout this routine. Front layout, 1.5 twist. Small hop on the landing, but very well performed and turning out to be a nice finals here on the balance beam.
Yeah, there's not going to be much room for error, is there, so far? That's our 3rd performer. There was only the 1 point between the 8 in qualifying, but we need some big performances here.
See that replay of her acro series. So those swinging of the arms is a 0.1 deduction, and that nice layout, 1.5 twist, small hop on the landing. She should be very happy with that routine.
And back to the vault. And the Englishman, competing, of course, for Great Britain, competed for England out here last year at the Commonwealth Games. He's one of the favourites going in, ranked 2nd. This is his first attempt.
Beautiful stuff there. Round off onto the horse. It's got a Yurchenko half turn onto, sorry, round off onto the board, half turn onto the horse, front layout with 2 twists there. Very difficult one to land because you don't see the floor early enough because you're travelling in forward position. But he's controlled that landing very nicely. And we do have the final score in for Yanikura from Japan, 14.579.
So that's the provisional score, and at the moment, obviously, as he was first, it's leading, but that's where the bar's been set as we go back once more to the balance beam. And for the Republic of Korea, I am Doyen.
Just see her going through her routine there on the floor.
She's only 15 as well, another one of the real babies.
And we've just had a score come through for Chinese Taipei. Lai Pinju, she got 12.433, so that puts her into third position. So still the Japanese Oguchi with 13.066, the score to beat.
Dominic preparing for his second vault.
His first vault was a 14.566.
Here we go.
Needs an improvement on that.
Beautiful. Yushenko, 3 triple twist there, and just a small step on landing, and he is really, really happy with himself.
He's going to need an improvement in terms of the score to put himself into that
That's right.
gold medal position.
That's right, just a small step on landing here. Probably a 0.1. Beautifully executed. So he has stepped up his difficulty from qualifying.
We go back to I am Doyen. Republic of Korea about to start her routine on the balance beam.
You'll see some of the gymnasts use the board to assist them with their mount onto the beam. Starting off with a small leap connection there. Get that requirement out of the way. Handspring layout, step out, nicely done. Split half turn. Slight wobble there, but keeping herself composed. All about the composure on this apparatus. Change leg ring there. Front handspring into the front tuck, so a difficult acro series. But getting her difficulty up in the routine. Lots of elements. Aerial cartwheel, a big wobble there. But rest of the routine going well. She'll just have her dismount to finish off. And off double twist, hop on the landing, and a great routine from the Korean gymnast. Staying on the apparatus is the aim of the game, and she completed that well.
Pretty impressive performance there, Steph. Steph Morehouse joining us on the floor. Pretty impressive performance on the beam we've just seen.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm standing down here right behind the beam, and I tell you what, the tension and pressure down here is incredible. Event finals are that next level, and there seems to be a lot of waiting around for athletes in between their routines, so there's a lot of mental preparation going on, a lot of athletes going through their routines in their heads on the side of the floor. So far it's paying off. Let's see if that continues.
And we'll go back now to the vault, Shin Ji-wan, and just to confirm that Cunningham has taken the lead at 14.749. So that's where it's set.
There we go, front entry onto the horse. Single out, multiple twist there. You'll see two different styles of vault today. You'll see a single out with multiple twists, and then some of the boys are going to be coming out with some high flying vaults with double saltos forwards or double saltos backwards. With these single layout vaults, you'll be looking to set your rotation first before coming into the twisting elements, bringing those arms in nice and close. The further around we go, the more twist you can make.
He's prepared for his second attempt. Has to be a different entry and exit as we take a look at the where the leaderboard now sits, 14.795. We do have a score for the Korean on the women's beam as well, down in 4th position. So at the moment, the 15-year-old Australian hanging on second, and Gucci, the first competitor, her score of 13.066 remains on top with 4 more to come.
And we've got the first score in of 14.633 for Shin's first vault.
Which would stick him, if he was to match that or improve, it would keep him in second position. So a chance to potentially even unseat Cunningham here with a great vault.
Handspring, front lap, double twist there, performed nicely, but I don't think it's enough to take over Cunningham in first place. The start value just being a little bit lower. You can see through the air, his toes are perfectly squeezed together, his legs are straight, and that's what the judges are looking for, to keep those execution scores high.
And Tom, you'll usually see the gymnast compete their more difficult vault first, saving their second vault as maybe the easier vault. So therefore, trying to keep their both scores nice and high, but tend to see a lower score in the second.
Back to the beam, and Osipova from the Ukraine. This is our 5th competitor. There's the standings at the moment, with Gauchi was out first, in first, and the Australian Chipazubov in second.
So Osipova, she qualified in 5th, coming into the finals.
Busy night for her. We'll see her on the floor as well.
She's got lots of acro elements in this routine. Aerial cartwheel, landing quite low with those shoulders, right down at her knees, so that will incur a deduction. Change leg leap into her leap, into two jete full, and just coming off the beam there. Didn't have enough momentum, and shoulders were a little bit off center, so pulling her off the beam. That will incur a 1.0 deduction.
And that'll be enough to take her out of medal contention, obviously, but remember, we're also looking for qualification points through to Tokyo. We need to stay focused and finish this routine well.
Showing off her artistry, so that's a requirement to show that artistic element of the routine. Dismount double tuck. So unfortunate for that fall, will take her out of medal contention, but finished off the routine nicely, so she should be happy with herself. Acro series there. All those nice flight elements. Here's where she got unstuck.
And she waits for her score. I can confirm that over on the vault, Shin Ji-wan is in 3rd position, so Cunningham still on top, and this is the man from Kazakhstan, Karimi.
And a handspring double front there, unfortunately sitting that one down. That's going to incur 1.0 deduction off his execution score, so just not getting enough rotation, and there's not much you can do about it once you're on the floor. There we go. So, as mentioned earlier, some athletes use double saltos, as you can see here. or single saltos with multiple twists. And if you're a really good faulter, double saltos and a twist. We've seen that, and hopefully we'll see some more this afternoon in finals.
So he's not going to trouble Cunningham, you would think.
No, that fall will definitely keep him out of medal contention.
Yep. He does get a second attempt, but it's not the best of the two. It's the average of the two that combines to make the final score.
That's right, and you'll see vaulters this evening using different entries and different exits off the horse, and that's a requirement. So some will enter forwards or do Shanko and enter backwards onto the horse, and then off the horse they'll have to do a different type of vault. If it's 2.5 twist, then they'll have to change that up for the next vault.
He was at 12.9 score just come through for that first vault. So down in 4th position at the moment.
And just staying inside the line there, fighting for every 10.
It was a struggle to stay in those train tracks.
And even though he's out of medal contention, you can see how he's still working for every little .1. And as he enters the horse, he's doing a round off onto the horse, a half turn, and then twisting off the horse there. And just managing to stay inside that line.
Nedov of Australia she'll be on the floor later, about to attempt her performance on the balance beam. And still, the first competitor out, Gucci from Japan, is on top. 13.066 is the score that we're looking to beat.
So Emma does have a world-class routine on this apparatus. For her, it's all about that finals pressure and staying on the beam. Beautiful first acro series, back handspring, back flip layout. Front aerial into that split lead combination. So common combination we're seeing here in finals. Split half, nicely done. Keeping that composure. It's all about just thinking about the next skill you're about to perform. Change leg ring, beautifully done. That nice head release, judges want to see that. They will also want to see you hit that 180 degrees in your leaps. Unsold, nicely done. Solid landings. With a double pike backwards there. Beautifully done from Emma, and it might be enough to see her get into the medal contentions.
Just a little step at the end there, but it wasn't much, was it? It was a very nice routine.
Here we see that replay, so it's a very difficult first acro series from her on the balance beam.
We saw Osipova struggle, and the scores at the moment: 13.066 is first, 12.933 is second. That's Gucci of Japan and Chipazubov of Australia. There could be a couple of Australians up amongst the medals here in a moment. That's where we're sitting at the moment. And of course, we don't have Emma's score as yet, but only a couple of competitors still to come. But remember, one of them is a Hall of Famer. There she is on screen, and the other was the top qualifier. Josephina at 43.
Such an amazing feat for her to be here and competing with all these youngsters in the competition.
On the podium last night, could well put herself back there. This isn't her favourite apparatus. She said to me she feels it's like a lottery.
Sometimes it's a bit like that with the beam. Never know what you're going to get.
She does have 5 elements named after her in this sport. It's an extraordinary career.
Starting off nicely with that front pike onto the beam. Oh, just coming off there. Very difficult skill, that front pike tuck.
And I can tell you that Emma Nedov is now in first position. The score's just come through. There it is on the right-hand side of your screen at 13.5. The Australian finds herself in the gold medal position with just one more athlete to come, because sadly the veteran is not going to figure in the medals after twice now losing away on the beam.
Yeah, unfortunately coming off there again, and that composure, sometimes it can be overwhelming once you've come off and you're trying to focus on the rest of your routine, but the nerves just settle in. This front tuck there. Ooh, full turn down on the beam. Gymnasts have 90 seconds to complete their routine. Just finishing with the simple round-off layout there. So unfortunate for Chisavitna here, but still the crowd really appreciate her.
Well, we saw her last night on the podium, but Emma Nedov, there she is, and she's currently on top. In fact, Australia first and third with one competitor to come. That competitor is the top qualifier, though, Zhao Shiting of China. And here we see this, well, sad exit on the beam, but after a terrific night last night.
Yeah, still great to see another opportunity to watch the legend herself, and hopefully we'll see her here again next year.
So Loris Brasco of France, he's the 5th competitor on the beam.
Sugahara with a triple twist. So just the quarter turn entry there, and then triple twist in that single flight. After his hands come off the horse, just a little shuffle of the feet. He makes that look easy.
He did. 14.749 is the score that he needs to beat. 14.579 is the silver at the moment. But of course, we do have a few more competitors to go, including the top qualifier. There's 3 more to come after this. That's where it sits at the moment with Dominic Cunningham, who you tipped him in front of Radulov. Of course, we'll find out what the Ukrainian's got to say about it in a few moments. But Cunningham from Yonkura and Ji-Wan Shin. You would think Ji-Wan Shin's score probably won't hold up.
That's right. We've seen a few boys increase their start value tonight, and they're really putting it all out there. And it's been some pretty clean landings. And that's what you want to see in a final. Is you want to see the athletes performing at their best on the main stage. So good to see good quality vaults here.
And after this is second vault, we'll be taking a look at the last of the competitors on the beam. First vault has him on top at the moment. His first vault scores just come in at 15, so he's on top right now. He needs to match that or improve to stay there.
Handspring double front half, named after the great Dragulescu, and he has performed that beautifully.
What do you think?
I think he might have it. I think he might just edge out Cunningham with that vault.
At the moment, remember, it's the average of the 2 vaults, not the best, that goes through. The first was 15, and if it's anything like that, he'll be in front of Cunningham, but still with 3 competitors to come.
Getting all that height off the vault there, and 2 very difficult vaults executed very well. Like you said, I think he's going to be right up there.
That's right.
Great to have your company on Fox Sports. And on the women's balance beam, Australia currently 1st and 3rd, Japan in 2nd, but this was the top qualifiers. Shiting Zhao of China, the final competitor on the beam. She needs to beat 13.5.
We are saving the best for last. She's such a beautiful competitor on this apparatus. Makes it look so elegant. Nice smooth connections there, making sure everything gets paid to bring that difficulty up.
Only 15 years of age. Extraordinary.
It is. She already looks like she's been competing internationally on this apparatus for years. Aerial cartwheel, nicely done. Change leg half. Showing off her leap requirements. So far, a very solid routine. Double twisting, dismount, tiny little step on the landing there, but otherwise not too much wrong with the routine.
Yeah, it was a terrific routine, but it'll be interesting to see whether she's done enough in terms of a difficulty. She came in with 12.9, and that was her qualifying score. That was the best qualifying score, but of course we've seen Emma Netov take it to another level with 13.5. So has she done enough to beat 13.5?
I think it's going to be quite close. It's going to be up to the judges now. See what score she gets.
I must mention this beam isn't soft either. I think for the viewers out there, there is 0 spring in that beam and it is rock solid. There's plenty of pressure through the ankles.
We should also point out that over at the vault, Laurence Frasco of France is in top, first position. 14.9 is where he's at. There's still a few to go, and this is Kim Hansel of the Republic of Korea. 3 competitors to come.
Oh no, and he sat that one down. Just going for a little bit of a lie down after that vault, unfortunately. Handspring, just gone for the 3.5 twists. It's a very, very, very difficult vault. And unfortunately it didn't pay off for him today.
Minette will be keeping her eye on that score for the beam for when it comes through as well. We'll let you know the second we get it. As she waits, will it be a gold medal performance for China, or will the local crowd erupt for Emma Netov?
And the score has just come through. She has just pipped Emma Netov at the post, 13.566.
13.566. So Shi Jing from China takes the gold medal. These are provisional scores, but that's the way it looks. 13.566. 13.5 even it was for Emma Netov. She'll be taking the silver, and the bronze medal will go to Gauchi of Japan. And a marvellous performance as well from the 15-year-old Alina Chipazov, who just sees that performance take her out of the medals, but a 4th place in the world. Fantastic. 4th place at a World Cup. We go back to the vault.
Kim's first score of 13.566. He has nailed that vault. Just a consolation prize, really. Unfortunately, his first vault letting him down there, and the average of the 2 scores will be a lot lower after that fall. Very nicely done. Lots of rotation off the horse, and you can see he gets plenty of speed And lots of space here to fit those twists in. And controlling the landing nicely. Difficult one landing forward. You don't see the floor as easily as when you land turning into the ground backwards.
But he won't trouble the leaders, which is Frasca of France at 14.9, Cunningham, the Brit, at 14.749, and Yonakura of Japan, 14.579. They're the three leaders. That's the group that this man, all 4'10" of him, he's a mighty little pocket rocket, Christopher Remkes of Australia. That's the group that he wants to get himself amongst.
That's right, and Christopher is going to use all this atmosphere in the crowd here tonight to get him up over these vaults. He's got two difficult vaults, both with double rotations, so it's very difficult to land as well.
He really has bitten off a lot. He's one of those people you think, he thinks to himself, I'm going to bite off more than I can chew and chew like hell, because every apparatus, he's set the bar incredibly high.
That's right, he doesn't fear anything, and here we go. Double front with a half turn, Dragulescu. Just stepping out of there, it's going to be costly.
What will that cost him to step outside the train tracks?
0.1 to step outside, and probably a 0.3 step as well backwards there. So all in all, he had really good lift off the vault. Plenty of time to fit that double front and the half turn at the end in. But just going off a little bit to the side.
Yeah, it's just like he sort of springed to the right off the...
That's right, so probably would have started off the board, a little bit to the left, and then after he finished his double front half turn, just carrying that momentum outside those rails there. Nonetheless, it is a very, very good score. That's going to come through soon for that vault.
Bit of honey on the hands to stick that vault.
That's right, so with this double salto vault, it's really important to get those legs nice and close to the chest so you can rotate faster, and that grip on your legs is super important. If your hand slips off your legs during those saltos, you won't be able to get them around.
His qualifying score coming in was 14.9.
And in qualifying this second vault, he did touch the ground on, so he lost 1.0 and still managed to make it into the finals. So he will be performing a Sukahara double pike, so that's with your legs in the straight position and piked up as close to your face as possible.
And that one was a 14.533. That score just coming through for the first vault, so that puts him out of medal contention in 5th place. So needs a big performance right here.
Let's do it, Chris. And unfortunately, he's pancaked that vault. And just both hands on the ground, knees on the ground, and that will keep him well out of medal contention. Unfortunate for the Australian. He's come up nicely there, just couldn't wrap those knees in close enough to his chest. And that just meant he couldn't get the rotation around.
Just trying to open out there on that landing. You could see the legs coming out. Here we can see it in the replay. Trying to swap the ground and didn't get those feet underneath, so he'll be very disappointed with that.
So you can see the boys congratulating each other there. A lot of mateship on the competition floor between different countries.
He's shown some ticker all the way through, hasn't he, to go for the most difficult performances. But there's the way it stands right now. Frasca, Cunningham and Yonakura. But of course, the top qualifier. And here he is from the Ukraine, Igor. He's was absolutely sensational on Friday night.
It was his clean landings on Friday night that took him through to the finals.
To Igor Radovilov, the top qualifier.
Just giving a couple of cues to the coaches there to let them know exactly where that board needs to be. 100% lined up.
Be nice if he could do some work on his curls. He's barely got a bicep there. Look at that. Huge.
I believe he's performing the same 2 vaults as Christopher Remkes just did.
Really? So, big degree of difficulty.
See those ankles strapped very tightly. A lot of pressure goes through those legs when you land these vaults. Handspring double front with the half turn, and that is just a lesson right there. Wow.
Yeah, he's an Olympic bronze medalist, of course, from London. You were there to see him perform
That's
on
right.
this apparatus, and here's why. Wow.
Beautiful. Just spotted the landing as he does that half turn. It's actually a little bit easier if you can get the half turn in there to catch the landing. You'll be able to point your eyes down on the ground as he's done there, see the floor, and spot that landing beautifully.
And of course, as we mentioned last night in the games in Rio in 2016, he attempted a triple front somersault that has since been banned just because it was simply too hard. Didn't land it, but he, again, in terms of attempting things with massive degrees of difficulty, they've had to ban it because it was too dangerous.
That's right. He's got zero fear, and it's got named after him, so it's called the Radivilov, but no one else will ever be able to attempt it again.
Now the pressure's on for him to really stick this second vault.
Once again, I believe he's going for the Sukahara double pike like Christopher Remkes did in the previous vault.
And his score has come through on the first vault at 14.966, so he's on top at the moment. If he can match that or better it, he'll take the gold. Remember, it's the average of the two vaults.
So it's all about rotation and how close you can get those legs to your body. Here we go. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely amazing, and he knows it.
Yeah, that's looked very much like a gold medal performance there.
I think he's done it.
Radivilov of the Ukraine. He was on top after the first. He needed to match or better it to stay there, and we'll wait for the scores, but that's magnificent.
Very tidy in the air, the legs nice and straight. And he is loving it, lapping up the atmosphere here at Melbourne Arena. Beautiful stuff. The judges really didn't need to bring their pens to that vault for him. So much height off the horse. And plenty of time to spot that landing. What a feeling.
Yeah, best was saved to last in both apparatus for the first two, wasn't it? The beam and the vault. He's waiting, bated breath for that score, very anxious. Frasca's average of 14.9 is the score he needs to beat. As we take a look at what we saw, Zhao Shiting and Emenetov and Ugauchi, the medalists from the beam. Frasca's on top at the moment, but won't be there for long, we don't think. Cunningham is probably going to collect a bronze medal. And it's just come through. 14.949, and he's got himself a gold medal. They've just announced it to the rest of the stadium. He knows it now.
Well deserved.
What a great performance. The Olympic bronze medalist now has another World Cup gold. As we go down to Stephanie Morehouse, and I imagine a very happy beam competitor.
Thanks, guys. I do. I have Emma Netoff down here. Emma, silver medal at your home World Cup. How do you feel?
Really excited. It's absolutely amazing. Couldn't be happier. Yeah.
Fantastic. And we did see you having to wait around for a while. The balance beam, so much pressure on this apparatus. How do you mentally prepare for an event like this?
Yeah, I was up sixth, so I had a bit of time to wait. But, you know, just visualization, going through the routine in my head and just doing a couple steps on the floor, things like that.
Well, congratulations on this silver medal. We do need to let you go. You've got Flora up next, so all the very best. You've got Australia behind you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steph. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All night Melbourne. And this afternoon, we've seen the first two apparatus in the second session of finals completed, and we've seen some spectacular action. And both occasions, the last competitors onto the apparatus have walked away with the gold medal. In the women's balance beam, it was Shiting Zhao with 13.566, just edging out Emma Nedov of Australia with 13.5. It looked like Nedov may have taken the gold, but the last performer snatched it. Gauchi, who was the first performer out and had hung on to top spot until Emma Nedov came along, will take the bronze, and a magnificent performance for the 15-year-old Australian as well in fourth position as we stand by now for the medal ceremony. There she is, the legend that we spoke to earlier in the day, the ambassador for this event, as she's been for the last couple of years. She performed here in Melbourne, winning the gold on the floor and as part of the American team in the Pacific Rim back in 2010, when she would have been,
bronze medal.
Oh, I don't know,
Great Britain,
18,
Dominic Cunningham.
18, maybe 17, 18, depending on what time of year it was. And with the
Winner of the silver medal from France,
the bronze, Cunningham. The silver, the Frenchman. He put up a score that took some catching. But in the end, Radovilov,
And the winner of the gold
top
medal
qualifier, just took
from
it to
Ukraine,
an entirely
Igor
different level.
Radivilov.
When you're sitting around the warm-up area when it's all done, is there much arm wrestling take place but amongst the rings competitors? They're all just such strong arms, haven't they?
Yeah, you can see the difference between the physique here, but Radovilov also very strong rings competitor.
Maska did well.
Please be outstanding for the national anthem of Ukraine.
Great moment. His wife's also a Olympic gymnast. They competed together at the Rio Olympics, both with their eyes on Tokyo.
Well, he's one step closer. This is the second World Cup that he's won on vault.
Yep.
So he's picked up the maximum points in terms of qualification for the Tokyo Olympics.
Yeah, it'd be a real surprise to see him fall out of contention from here. But still other events to go. In a moment we'll have the women from the balance beam. They're nice bunches of natives, aren't they?
Nice to have that little Aussie touch and
Yeah.
for the gymnast.
And as for the beam, Shi Ting Zhao, 13.566. Eminetov, just at 13.5, just nudged out of the gold in front of a home crowd. And Mana Uguchi of Japan, being the first competitor out, and did a tremendous job and held on for a long while. Netov was sixth, so she held on until Netov came along. And they'll be out in a moment to collect their gold and silverware. Nice performance too from the youngster, wasn't it? To come in fourth at this level.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really great finals, and as you can see with those top 4 scores, it was really tightly contested. So nice that we've got strong competition for finals.
Very close. A little keepsake on the phone. As we now see the presenters coming back out, it'll be the same group.
The winner of the bronze medal from Japan, Mana Uguchi.
Great effort.
The winner of the silver medal
She
from
looks so young.
Australia,
She's
Eminetov.
actually 27. Great cheer for Netov, the 22-year-old.
And the winner of the gold medal from China, Xiao Shiting.
But the baby of the group takes the gold. She's only 15 years of age. What a career she's got ahead of her. You know exactly how this feels. You picked up your World Championship medal.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthem.
It really is to, even just to be standing up on that podium dais, it's such an amazing feeling, and to be in front of a home crowd, even better.
Congratulations to our winners and our 2019 World Cup champion balance beam, Xiao Shiting. And what a lovely close final that was, just less than 0.1 separating first and second.
They're moments they won't forget. And for the men, the parallel bars coming up next. Well, they'll pose for a few photos that they'll keep in their heart for a long while. Parallel bars for the men up next. Melbourne, you can do